I'm In with the ARCC is brought to you by StoredTech, your technology, our passion. And now here's your host for I'm In with the ARCC, Amanda Blanton.
Welcome to I'm In with the ARCC. Thanks for joining us today. I am your host, Amanda Blanton, Vice President, Marketing and Communications for the Adirondack Regional Chamber of Commerce. And today my guest is Kayla Denny. She's the Employment Counselor and Workshop Coordinator with LEAP. Now, LEAP, for those of you who don't know, is an acronym for Learning, Employment, Assistance, and Partnership. And today we're here to focus on the employment side of LEAP with Kayla Denny. Kayla, welcome to the show. How you doing?
Great. I'm so happy to be here. Thank you for having me today.
Yes, we had a very great conversation before the show. As I'm getting to know more about the employment side of LEAP, what LEAP does, it's so much. It really is incredible. And I've had Shelley Smith on the show before to talk about kind of the more well-known services, but the employment side, I think, is maybe one that not a lot of community members know about, and we're here to change that.
Yes, that's why I'm here today.
Yeah.
I'm happy to be here today to share more about what we have to offer. We often say that, we're one of the best kept secrets unintentionally,
right,
for LEAP and for the county.
Absolutely. So at its core, what exactly is your office's mission?
So we support individuals and families in attaining self-sufficiency by providing services, sharing resources, and through community collaboration.
Yeah.
And, we support this statement by being available to all of Washington County. We're located right in an accessible area. We're right in the county building. And we welcome walk-ins, we'll take phone calls, we'll take emails. Any way that you want to reach out to us to get started with some help at our Career Center, we're more than happy to do that.
Yeah.
So however you want to, talk to us,
Sure.
however you want to call us, walk into us, whatever works best for you, because we're all about meeting you where you're at in order to help you get started.
I love that.
And we're here to support those within our community in being able to support themselves. We aim to assist individuals in finding paths to success and to help prevent a hardship from becoming a life-changing crisis.
Sure.
Things happen in our lives that are really out of our control. Sometimes you have to change jobs. Sometimes you have to restart your whole career path. Sometimes you have to start your career path for the first time ever.
Yeah.
And all of these things tend to happen really unexpectedly.
Mm-hmm.
There are times in life where changes are going to happen, they're going to occur, and like I said, typically we're not prepared for them, and barriers may appear. LEAP offers the opportunity to seek guidance and support in overcoming these barriers and in navigating these changes in order to continue on towards a path of success in sustained independence.
I love that. And you brought up some great points in that. This could happen to anybody, right? You could find yourself just without a job for whatever reason. Where do you turn, right? And LEAP is one of those places.
Absolutely. Yeah. That's what we're here for.
So you mentioned county. I think I want to make it clear from the very get-go, you are serving Washington County residents only, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
I will say that if you're from another county and you're in the area and you happen to walk into our office and you need help with your resume or any other workforce kind of development related services,
yeah,
I'm still going to help you.
Okay.
Even if I have to, in the end, give you the number for the correct career center in your county, I'm still going to take the time to figure out what you need and help you find it.
I love that, Kayla. It's a common theme on this show, being a connector, right? As a nonprofit agency, you exist, and we talked about this a bit before the show too, you have a passion for helping others. And if for some reason that you can't directly help them, you're going to make sure they get the help they need, right?
Of course.
I love it.
That's why I do what I do.
Exactly. And I think that's what makes this greater region so special, is we have a lot of helpers. We have a lot of people who want to serve others, and it's a beautiful thing.
It really is.
Yeah, wonderful. So let's talk about, because I know you have youth employment services and adult employment services. I'd like to start with the adult employment services, if that's okay.
Of course.
What can you share with us? I'm sure there's a wide array of what you offer.
There are a number of services that are available, and even in those number of services, there are different kind of pathways we can take to approach them.
Sure.
So as we talked about, I'm the employment counselor and the workshop coordinator, and we also have our senior employment counselor And we're both available to meet with adults and offer them career guidance.
Wonderful.
And this can, be in a number of ways. Sometimes we're going to do some career development planning where we're going to help you figure out what's the pathway you need to take and how are you going to go about it.
Okay.
Sometimes we might be helping you with a resume, which means that we could be critiquing one you already have, or we'll help you make one from scratch. Sometimes I have people come in who don't have any sort of a resume history. They don't even have their work history written out. They have no idea how to identify those skills that you would list out on a resume.
Oh.
And that's one of the things that we do is we help you identify those skills. We help you find those transferable skills is what we like to call them.
Yeah.
And often I tell people, even if you've never had a job, you never did any hobbies, never participated in clubs, if you're somebody that's existed in this universe, which you have because you're here in my office today, then we can find at least 10 skills for you to list out on your resume. I'm not going to let you walk out of my office without finding at least 10 things that you can say about yourself to an employer.
Yeah.
And we can also, guide people on how to learn how to identify these skills themselves in order to continue to use those abilities that we're helping them with in our office.
Sure.
Even when they no longer feel like they really need our services.
Absolutely.
And we can also support them in applying for funding for trainings.
Okay.
Sometimes these trainings may be necessary for them to enter into their desired field, and sometimes they might be necessary in order for them to kind of move up the ladder in their field.
Got it. Okay.
And for those who are eligible for our funded services, we also offer additional supports for successfully attending and completing training, such as assistance in purchasing supplies like scrubs or paying for the CDL permit test.
Nice.
Our center also has a job wall where we post local current job postings. We have a computer center for individuals to utilize, and they can use that to job search independently. They can use it to update their resume, write a cover letter, which is something we also tend to help people with. But they don't even necessarily have to be totally independent and alone. Sometimes people come in, they work on the computers, but they pop over and ask me a few questions here or there.
Right.
Ask me if I can just take a look quick. And that's something that we're more than happy to do.
That's the service side, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. And we even have a phone you can use if you want to call employers to follow up.
Nice. Okay.
And we do help people with learning when you should follow up, how you should follow up. We help them with interview skills, all the things that are going to be related to career development and job searching. They're all things that we have some sort of a service for.
That's great. Your office is truly removing all the barriers that I could think of, right? Because, we're learning this all the time that not everyone has it as good as you do, right? There are people who don't have a computer at home. There are people who don't have access to internet. It's things that we take for granted every day, right? So if you're an individual who doesn't have a computer, you don't have an internet, you're wondering, where do I even get started with job searching, right? Your office is a great place to get started.
It really is. And, sometimes people come in and they know they want a job, but they're not even sure where. And a lot of the time, I'll do interest surveys with people. We'll take a look at, here, answer these random questions. We're going to go through them together.
Yeah.
And here's some areas that you would probably really enjoy working in. And I'll help them with figuring that out. And, sometimes people, they just want a little bit of information. They want to process it in their own time, or they want to be able to, take the information from home as they so choose.
Yep.
And for those individuals, we can also provide them with the information that they need regarding monthly virtual workshops. We co-present them with other members of the Capital Region. And last year, we had over, I think it was 900 people attend throughout the course of 2025.
That's great.
They offer information on a variety of topics.
Yeah.
There's transferable skills, overcoming barriers, networking, and I think it's 8 other topics that I didn't just list out.
Yeah, no, but basically everything you could think of when looking and securing a job. Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah.
And, we've been working with the Department of Social Services to provide these employment and job readiness skills and services for any able-bodied adult over the age of 18 to assist people who have been affected by the recently enacted able-bodied and without dependence requirements.
Gotcha.
So we're here to help with that kind of new path that's popping up, just like we would for any other kind of event in life.
Absolutely. And I know we got a chance to talk before the show here, and you kind of explained a little bit about the experience visiting your office, right? And what I'm gathering is you all do a lot of listening, right?
Quite a bit, yes.
Because somebody could be coming in and they could be having a really tough day, right? Or they're not at a great point in their life and they're coming to you for help. And you said to me, like, I love asking them questions, getting to know them, because how else are you going to know how to help, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And, how else am I going to know what path you should be on?
Sure.
Getting to know somebody and knowing their interests and what they feel good about, what makes them feel good about themselves, that's going to help them find the most successful career path for them.
Absolutely. Definitely. I love that. So let's talk a bit about like office hours and things. These are important, right? People can't just swing by whenever they'd like.
So office hours, especially if you're somebody who even just wants to pop in, use the computer, which I don't think I mentioned this earlier, but if you do want to work on your resume and you need some copies to take with you, we can also help you with that.
Oh, good.
We can help you with faxing things over to an employer, all of those things.
Great.
But you can come in to do that 8:30 to 3:30, Monday through Friday. So whenever you'd like to come in, you're more than welcome to. And like I said, we're happy to help you however is going to work best for you.
Sure.
So if you want to pop in, schedule an appointment, or see who's available for that walk-in time, go for it.
Yeah.
If you want to give me a call so I can schedule you ahead of time to make sure there's an employment counselor available, then absolutely reach out that way. Whatever's going to work best for you.
Absolutely. Wonderful. And we talked a little bit about, we haven't talked about youth employment services.
Yes.
That's where I was going. My choo-choo train went off the track. Okay.
Totally understand.
So youth employment services.
Yes.
Let's talk about that.
She does pretty much everything that we do with the adults, the resumes, the cover letters, talking about transferable skills, talking about how to be successful in job searching, what are the best job search practices, those kinds of things. And she also works with many businesses in the area to help youth seek employment opportunities and develop their job seeking and keeping skills early on. She runs a GED program for ages 16 to 20 that helps many youth obtain the credentials that they need to be eligible for most job opportunities.
That's great.
And she also runs a summer youth employment program, ages 14 to 20, placing youth directly with partnered employers in positions that are suited to their abilities.
Wonderful.
She works with local educators and businesses to put together job fairs for youth to see, what job opportunities and career pathways are out there for them. And she recently, actually just yesterday, hosted a job fair, and they had approximately 25 businesses tabling and roughly 400 students in attendance.
Oh, that's awesome.
So she works diligently with both educators and employers in our community in order to be able to offer help to youth in connecting with the opportunities that are available in our area.
Sure, absolutely. I'm happy to hear that that's happening because, we kind of get in our own silo, right? Educators are educators, employers and workforce individuals are focused on that. How do you bridge that gap, right? It's you guys.
It's that's a big part of what we do, and I think that's what it means to be community based is to really work within the community, work with all the different sides of the community. Everything's interconnected. Yeah, everything plays off of each other. Right. And in order to be successful in building and strengthening a community, you have to look at all parts of it. Sure. And we do offer our services to local employers as well.
Okay.
It's not just for those seeking employment, and it's not just to say, here's some job postings that are out there if employers will send them to us. Right. No, we exist to support businesses in the community in congruence with the support that we offer to job seekers. Yeah. We know that by offering our services to both, that we can help to build a thriving and sustainable community. We do hope to expand and strengthen our bonds with local businesses in order to better facilitate the process of connecting well-matched job seekers with potential employers. When job seekers come to our center, we can encourage them to apply for those open positions that local businesses need to fill. Yeah. And we can coordinate with hiring managers to directly connect candidates with the appropriate contact to apply for a well-suited position. Okay. We have access to online courses that employers may need in order to have employees gain a skill or a certificate in order to either advance to a better position or maybe even transition from one area of the industry to another. Sure. For example, maybe somebody who's in the warehouse would really do well in this office position, but they need to upskill in those Microsoft skills.
Right.
That's something that we can help with.
They need to identify that too, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
We can also connect them with job fairs and discuss if they would like to be able to table at them to share directly with our community about what career opportunities they offer.
Sure.
And they can come to our career center in person, just like, anybody else in the community.
Member. Yeah.
And they can actually use our career center as a space for conducting interviews or doing some recruiting.
This is incredible.
Yes. Last year especially, we also helped with providing support to some dislocated workers in Washington County to help kind of ease the strain of transitioning into a new career. And this was to help those dislocated workers, but it also helps business owners.
100%.
It helps to ease the strain and the stresses that were placed on employers, as some businesses in our area were shutting down, they were downsizing, they were moving. We assisted many individuals in updating their resumes, looking up job postings. We even provided a handful of individuals who were eligible from Quad Graphics or who were affected by the prison closing down with funding for them to receive training to be able to start a new career.
Right, and on different paths. So,
yes.
Yeah, that's wonderful. What you all do is incredible, and I'm glad we're hitting all the sides of it. So, you're helping, essentially you're helping educators, right? But also students who might be looking for work. I think I'm a little bit older than you, but maybe things have changed. But when I was in high school, we were getting all of our regular core education, surely, right? You had a couple of electives, but we weren't really being shown how to actually enter the workforce, if you catch my drift.
Yes, absolutely.
Absolutely. And it may still be that way, I'm unsure, but I think the service you're providing to educators and to our youth to fill in those gaps, right? And to let them know, like, hey, we are here. If you need help, like if you want to practice interview questions, if you need help with your resume, these are things that educators probably just don't have time for. It's not their fault. It's a lot, but you can complement their education.
Absolutely.
It's incredible. Yeah. And then on the other side, we talked about what you do for businesses. And I think you probably had more to say, and I would love to hear you elaborate a little bit more. But I also love to see that because from a chamber's perspective, we have businesses coming to us that are like, we have to hire 5 employees like immediately. What can we do? Or we downsized in one department but grew another department. We don't know what to do. So it's organizations like yours that can be like, okay, hold on, we can help. We can figure this out together, right?
Yes, and that's what we're all about. We're all about working in the community with our community to help strengthen our community.
Yep. That's so good. So awesome.
As far as, the things that we can do to help people, help educators, help people get educated.
Yep.
That's what we're all about. And you mentioned how, job searching, you were kind of on your own. And to be fair, job searching is also a lot different than it has been even in the past 5 years. And that's also something that we talk about often with those that come to our office.
Sure.
It's expanded rapidly. It used to be, 10 to 15 applicants would apply, and then, hiring manager would look through them, call a few. There'd be a few interviews. Now everything's online.
Yep.
There are hundreds, thousands, maybe even more applying for one position. And, people get frustrated. They don't get callbacks. They feel like, nobody's really giving them the chance. And a lot of that's because, employers are using applicant tracking systems. They're using systems that are supposed to make all of these internet resumes a little bit easier to weed through.
Absolutely.
And while that helps employers, it can sometimes hinder those looking for a job.
Sure.
But one of the things that I do is I help people learn how to use that system to their advantage.
Aha, you got the tips and tricks.
Absolutely.
I like it.
Tips and tricks.
And who knew, right? I mean, I haven't been in a position where I was looking for a job in close to 10 years at this point. So I'm sure a lot has changed. And I would be surprised by it.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
So, but that's good. Things have to change. That's how we grow, right?
Yes.
Awesome.
But I just like to always kind of touch on that because I know a lot of people, they sometimes feel disheartened by how the process is going for them. And they always say things like, this isn't how it used to be.
Yeah.
You're so not alone in feeling that. It happens all the time. Almost every single person that I meet with who is over the age of, 25, 26 has had this experience.
Yeah. It's a crazy world. So we've kind of maybe danced around this American Job Center network, which I'm sort of familiar with, like from the Warren County side. I understand there's a lot of partners in this network. What is the advantage to you all being a part of this network?
So it means that we are recognized as the Washington County Career Center and Workforce Development Office. It means that LEAP is part of a network sponsored by the Department of Labor that is designed to be a one-stop center for career-related resources, meaning you don't have to spend hours researching just to figure out where to get started.
Perfect.
Being part of the network allows us to be searchable through their websites in order to know exactly where to go to get started.
Yeah.
It makes it easier for those in the community to identify, who's going to be able to help me and when and how.
Absolutely. And, we can't do anything alone. We have to work together. So having a network of
absolutely.
resources
it really
perfect.
supports our ability to be connected with the other centers as well and with labor force development affiliates in order to best serve our community.
Wonderful, wonderful. Now, this is a question because I know we've covered a lot of services that your office offers, but are there maybe one or two that you feel like are underutilized and you'd love to just shine a spotlight on?
So we talked about this in the office many times before.
Yeah.
We honestly often say that our career center seems to be the unintentionally best kept secret in Washington County.
Yeah.
Many don't realize that we're right here in the county building and that we have a number of career development services available that are completely free to use. So in all honesty, I would say that all of our career-based services for both youth and adults are underutilized by our community.
Got it.
We would love for those within our community to be made aware and feel comfortable using the services that we offer.
Sure.
Community engagement and feedback helps us to better connect with those that we serve, and it allows us to best understand where to put the most focus on our efforts. We want to be able to best help those that we serve, and we hope to offer more workshops and job fairs in the future.
Awesome.
We would like to get input from those in our county to help guide us in the right direction as far as understanding what career development information they would most like to see shared in those workshops, both in person and online, what kind of materials and activities would be the most beneficial to them if they were to, attend in person. And we also hope to continue to strengthen and build connections with employers in our area in order to assist both employers and job seekers in finding one another. And we feel that being a community-based service provider means that we have to continuously strengthen our connections within the community in order to best understand and work towards helping to strengthen our community. LEAP's values are: we are driven to serve, we dare to be brave, we show up. Our team all truly believes in our organization and what we stand for. Our name really does say it all: learning, employment, assistance, partnership. We believe in the spirit and potential of a community, and we encourage our community to connect with us by finding us in the lower level of Building B in the county buildings in Fort Edward, or even start by giving us a call. Call us at 518-746-2391. We look forward to partnering with you, both job seekers and businesses alike, on this journey of working together in workforce development.
Wonderful. Again, love to hear it, and well said. Again, what you all offer is just incredible. We'd love to see more community members coming in, more youth coming in and asking questions, and more businesses getting involved, because you all are acting as that connector, right, between all of them and doing a great job. Let's get bigger, right?
Of course.
Yeah. And I know you guys have a lot of plans for some events and some, learning opportunities going forward. So I would encourage everyone to visit your website, for those updates, and also to follow the chamber too, because I know you and I are going to work very closely together on getting that word out.
Absolutely.
And we're excited to do so. So is there anything else you want to add before we end the show today?
I think I just want to say, don't be scared to get started on getting started.
Yes.
We are here to help you, and we are more than happy to help you. So please don't hesitate to give us a call, send us an email, reach out, or even just walk in. Whatever
Wonderful.
Works best for you, we're here to help.
Awesome. Well, Kayla, thank you so much. I really appreciate you taking the time. It was great to learn more about the employment side of LEAP. One day I'm going to know everything I need to know about LEAP. It's going to happen. So I really appreciate it.
Yes, thank you for having me today.
Awesome. And that's all the time we have for today on I'm In with the ARCC. Be sure to tune in next week.